good morning. Am I audible to you?
Hi, Pawani. Good morning. Yeah, it is audible.
Yeah. Okay. So let's quickly start off. So I mean, have you all tried going through the previous topics? Any queries around that, Vanshika, regarding the tables creation and the updates and migrations? Do we have Vanshika here in the session? I saw her. Midin, can you hear me?
Yes, Pawani. Okay.
Do we have Vanshika on the session?
Yes, seems like she is in this.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
So yes, Vanshika, we were just asking, like, I mean, were you able to go through the previous session, and did you have any queries around that, and so on?
I'll ask on Friday maybe because of office timing and all, I really don't get time.
Okay, sure. Okay, then we'll quickly proceed with the other topics. When you have queries, we can sort them out. Yes. Okay, now let's go to our asset management table, and let's begin with this. So let me just quickly go ahead and create few records. So we'll cover the things. So in today's session, we'll go through about the dictionary overrides and UI policies. Okay. Now, see, in order for me to make a request, raise a request and assign it to the a specific assignment group. If you see, I have already created a request, but I have set the assignment group to empty. But still, the request has been created.
Yes, yeah.
Why is it?
Because we didn't make that field as a mandatory field. That's why it
Yes,
is
correct. Yes, and in order to make this mandatory, what do we do?
We can do it like by clicking on right click on it on the dictionary library, and we can enable the mandatory
Fields.
option.
Yes, correct. Okay, but I do see that. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, the field is extended from task. Now, what
Yes.
do I do in those cases?
So we need to make the mandatory flag enabled so that to, this is one way of doing the mandatory type.
Yes. But I don't want see whenever we make any fields that's extended by task, and if we make it mandatory right from here, it is like a global change. So
Yes.
no matter what, with every table that is extended by the task table and that table has assignment group will become mandatory. That specific field on every table will become mandatory. I don't want to do that. I want my it's only the mandatory should be reflected only on my asset management table.
Okay.
So in that case, what do?
We will do UA policy.
We will create dictionary overrides, right?
Yes.
See, yes, you can go ahead and do UI policy. That if state is now let me say I have these many fields in this table.
Okay.
I have these many fields in this table. Okay, state, impact, priority, urgency, assignment group, assigned to. Everything should be mandatory. In that case, I don't want to go to UI policy and do all of these as mandatory. Rather,
Okay.
I want to create a dictionary. Dictionary override for it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
no matter what, as soon as when we open, it becomes. Let's create.
Okay.
We already have what we have. Yeah. We had already created a dictionary override for this. That's probably because we wanted to check the reference qualifier conditions. Okay. And table is this, column is assignment group. Here, what do we do?
Mandatory or
Yes, it's mandatory, not override mandatory. Had it been mandatory on the task table itself, then we do a override.
okay. Okay. Okay.
It's not override now, it's mandatory. Okay. Any queries around this?
But we cannot until and unless we didn't mark the override mandatory, we are not able to see the mandatory flag.
Yes, we will not be able to see the mandatory field. If it had been mandatory, we would have just had to opt the override mandatory. Okay, now even if I uncheck the C, it gets override mandatory. Now, but I want it to be mandatory on my on my asset management table.
Okay.
See, it becomes mandatory. So whenever a requester raises a request without submitting the, without choosing the assignment group, he wouldn't be able to submit the record. Okay.
And Pavani,
And one, yes,
for
yes.
requester field, the star flag is in another color and assignment group the different.
That is because there is already a field in this. Had it been
Okay.
empty, then it would have been, in red. Since it's
Okay.
already, there is some values there in this field, and that's why it's graded out.
Okay.
If the
Okay.
moment you empty it, it will again show as mandatory.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, this is about dictionary overrides. Okay. So you will have conditions where to make the assignment group and assign to mandatory without any conditions. Without anything. So you directly go ahead and make a dictionary override on that. Means to make the changes, impactable only on the desired table. Okay. Now if you see
Okay.
by default on this table from task table, there are so many like incident table had a dictionary override, but we don't know on what field that it has. Let's open this and show. See, again, incident has an assignment group. Attributes is this, and then override attributes. So it's on the assignment group that they have. This one override attributes means like what happens is that on call escalation tracking. What happens in this assignment group? You were telling right, Midin, the other day. What if I want to specifically see a specific group?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So they have done the they have done the dictionary override for the specific things, but I'll just get back to you, like how we have to specifically see the type as asset management team. Okay, that we have to probably write a reference qualifier condition on that, but let me just check. I don't think that's feasible, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And so this is dictionary override. Any questions?
Pavani, if you want to make it for any
Yes.
other field like short description and description, if you are creating a new, like, is there
Yes.
any we need to preset anything like for dictionary or right?
Yeah, we could do a dictionary override. We will make short description also mandate.
Okay.
So do you want to make that now?
Yeah. For one field, can you show us like again?
Again, do you want to make a dictionary
In your
override for that, is it?
yes.
Okay. See, every field will have single dictionaries entries. Okay. So now for assignment group, I did, and it is
Okay.
another dictionary entry. Now short description. Since short description was extended by task and it is present in all of these tables, it has
Okay.
some dictionary overrides. Now, if I'll have to
Okay.
create one, I have to create one thing specific to my table, right?
Yes.
Did we do this asset management, right? Or is it taking this one? I choose my desired table and then I make it as override mandatory. There I say mandatory.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
Got
it
it.
was already mandatory, I'll just say override mandatory.
Okay.
Okay. You see, it has become
Yes.
mandatory,
Yeah.
right?
Got it.
Okay, I'll put this somewhere here. It is disturbing. 1 second. Okay. So this is about dictionary entries. In the use cases would be to say that in this for dictionary entries, the use cases would be to say, I'll write. See, you can either say it as use cases or you could either say it as acceptance criteria. Okay, how the client would specify is that so once after we create the field, they would say like as a fulfiller, okay, when raising a request in backend, I do see that I should see that assignment that the following fields are always mandatory. That is short description. You can try this, okay? Description.
Okay.
Now that we have done description, and if you want, I'll paste it in the chat. Assignment group assigned to priority status. We don't need requester. Okay. Try creating the other tables and do. So by this way, you do dictionary overrides. Okay. Now, one thing, it could be vice versa, right? If if all of these fields are extended by task and they are mandatory also, so it could be vice versa, right? They would. I mean, there are requirements where they say when I open any request or request in a specific table, all of these fields should not be mandatory,
Yes.
right? So it could be vice versa. So first try to see if it's been extended by task. Okay, does it have any dictionary override? Okay, then you go ahead and do that. Yes.
Okay. And Pavani, like, if can we do like in a table, can we select multiple fields and we can do in a single dictionary
No,
from a
no,
table?
that is not feasible. You mean to say that what if I want to so like in short
In a
description,
particular.
yeah, in short description, if I make some changes, it should reflect in all tables, right?
No. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying like if you want to make mandatory fields in a particular table, like we can take our asset management table in this
Yes.
we want to make some fields as a mandatory, like as you given the assignment
You mean
real
to
case.
say only in this entry only? In the short description entry only you want to make others?
No. In this dictionary only, can I add the multiple fields? And can
No,
I make?
because see, this is specific to each field in the table.
Okay.
Each entry is specific to each field in the table. Now
Yes,
see,
yes,
I did we did short description for my we specifically came to short description entry, then we did assignment group, we specifically came to assignment
yeah,
group entry,
yeah,
and then we did. So, I mean, dictionary means each field will have its own, each field will have its own entry in the task table, right? So if we are
yeah.
making anything, we have to go to that specific, field and do.
Okay,
Because
okay.
had it been the case that if I go to one entry and if I do that, it would have looked clumsy, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Here itself we have seen, yeah, that's it. It will be like, you will have each entry for each field.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So yeah, another thing that I want to say is, now see, without submitting the request, we will not be able to, I mean, without submitting the assignment group, we wouldn't be able to do. So this is a one way of doing this thing, right?
Yes, yes.
Correct. And I'll tell you the difference between UI policy and the dictionary override. And before that, any queries on fields, field types, and in the backend that we have already here.
No, no problem.
Okay. And one more thing I want to say is urgency, impact, urgency, priority. Okay. One more thing that I want to say is priority lookup, right? It should always remain. Priority is always driven by impact and urgency. Okay.
Okay,
The way priority is set is with a combination of impact and urgency. Ideally, it should be impact plus urgency minus 1. So it should have been 3 plus 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. So priority should have been 5. Do we have a priority? Yes. But why is it not set up here? Let's see. We will just go to the priority lookup table. See, that's where the priority are set, okay?
okay.
Means we need not do anything now. Let me just change impact and urgency. Why is it taking 4? It should have taken 3. So we have something running in the priority lookup table, and that's why it's showing up. But ideally, priority is always with combination of impact plus urgency minus 1. So it's always driven by this. We need not explicitly set the priority. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So let's see, why is it taking this one. What was the priority here? It's
Oh,
4, right?
in the table it is showing correct one.
Yes. Yeah, in the table it is showing, then why was it not extending is my question. Sequence in which implement that one. See, it should have ideally given us the priority as 3, but
Yes.
why is it not giving? Okay, let's create another record and then see if it is picking it up from there. If not, we will have to debug this. So these are the this is another use case. So it should be always be driven. The client might say the priority should always, it's by default. They wouldn't even specifically say the priority should go like this, but it is the default functionality. Priority will always be driven by impact and urgency.
Okay.
Impact and urgency minus 1. Now let's debug. So this is also one use case, right, where we can
Yes, yes,
also
yes.
see why priority is not working as it is expected. Why is it by default showing in 444? Do we have any default value here? Yes. See, we have a default value. Default value means nothing but no matter whatever whatever that I choose in this table. Okay, the default value that it should give me is 4. Okay.
Okay.
In this
Okay.
case, now for short description, I say short descriptions should be some text. Okay.
Okay.
I want the short description to be always auto-populating in all of the requests that I create. So in that case, I create a default value. I set the default value to this in the short description. So that's why now, even if you see, we went to the dictionary entry of priority and we saw there is a default value of 4. Okay, that's why it was always showing up 4. Now I clear this and I save it. Now let me just refresh. We haven't created this record. See, priority is none. Okay, 1 plus 1. It should set the priority, right? Let's see. No, once again I'll refresh and do. So as of now, we don't have any priority. Why?
We set the default value to blank, and I think we need
Yes.
to give the priority default value as condition we need to give. Then only it will pick the priority.
No, it would work. It would work because now it is not working is because we haven't chosen the impact and urgency, and that's why it's not picking up any priority. Now let's choose medium 2, urgency 1. 1 plus 1 is 1 plus 3 is 1 plus 2 is
3 minus 1, so it
3.
take
2.
2.
Now let's say, let's fill this. Uh, let's say, why is it not even picking up? Did we save this? If I randomly save, it is coming up. But that shouldn't be the case. Why is it not? Let me just check this. If not, I'll just get back to you in the next class. Just another
Yeah.
few minutes, yeah. They've overridden the default value, but we don't want that, right? Okay, one second. What I'll do is here I took the it was impacting right in the task table. Let's create one dictionary override for us saying that we don't want any default values. And I'm not giving any value, okay? I'm just overriding the default value.
Okay. Assignment group, PTL.
Okay, I'll just probably have a look into this and take it through in the next class. Yes.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, but this would be one of the requirement. If you see any, if you see priority is not driven by the priority and urgency, then that is wrong. Okay. So we have to fix that. So in our case, though we have it extended from the task and everything is running global, it's not impacting, and we have cleared the default values as well. Let's see. I mean, I'll just get this because I just don't want to waste your time debugging this. Okay, but I'll probably come up with the solution for this in the tomorrow's class so that I could
Pavani,
explain it to you straight. Yeah.
is there
Mhm.
any plugin for in the supporter service now I had seen that glide.data underscore lookup plugin is not active.
Live dot under what plugin?
Yeah.
Is it
Com dot
specific to priority?
yes.
Okay, let's see what if it is enabled or not. Can you tell me the
Yeah.
is this the one?
Uh,
What was the plugin name?
com.glide.data underscore lookup.
Com dot live dot data underscore
Lookup.
lookup, is it? Okay, we'll do something like data lookup. Okay, but this was out of the box. It should have been data lookup and record matching. Is this the one? Request. So this one, this one, right?
Yes.
This one, glide.
Yeah, com.glide.data underscore lookup
Yeah,
plugin.
see, this is already installed. This is already installed. The reason it is
And
installed is because, see, yeah, yes, Mithun.
in the steps it is mentioned as ensure the plugin is not active and project management v3 is active and customize the BR calculator
No,
on the
no. Can you just see if this is the case? Just create a record, asset management record in your instance right away. Just see if the priority is not driven by urgency and impact. Is it the same?
actually this is my instance is hibernated so it is waking up.
Oh, is it okay? Okay, then I'll just come up. I mean, like I'll just look into this and I'll
Yeah.
probably come up with the. I mean, like reason why it is not working, and because let's move on to the other topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next requirement is will come on to UI policies. Okay. Next
Okay.
requirement is that status is what we have work in progress on hold, closed and skipped. Okay. If we say pending, do we have something as pending? Okay. Okay. Now I want. I mean, there is a requirement from client that says that this is acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria means it is the description of the story that we need to work upon. Okay. Yeah, or you would be assigned a story or you would be assigned a task. In that you will have an acceptance criteria. I mean, we should have the request. I mean, we should have the request details defined, right? Otherwise, how would we know on what we are supposed to work, right?
Yes.
So they
Yeah.
would say, as a fulfiller, whenever the state whenever the state is on hold, okay, I need to, the on hold reason should be mandatory. Should be mandatory.
Okay.
Okay. Without submitting the on hold reason mandatory, we will not be able to submit a record. Right?
Okay.
Now, first thing, do we have on hold in state?
No.
No. So what do we do?
We need to add the field, like right click on it and
Yes.
configure it. Under the
Yeah,
choice, we
correct.
need particular state.
Add the field. Yes, correct. So let's do that now.
In the choice list specification, we need to mention.
No, choice list specification means it will be like either, see, what it would say is like, do I have to go ahead and let me just bring that up. Asset admin, right? Now, do you see this default priority
Yeah.
coming up, right? State. So do we, before, should the state have none? And should the fulfiller or the person working on this request, should they explicitly go ahead and choose the value, right?
Yes.
If I say
Yeah.
none, let me see. Now, as of now, we have drop down without none. When I say drop down with none, let me just say this will impact. Okay, that's okay, no problem. Okay, now let me open up a new record. See this? I have none. Okay.
Yes.
Why is it? See, why is it not loading? I
We
set
had
none,
state.
right? Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had set the choice value to none, and by default, it should have shown me none only, right? Why is it showing open?
It's the past record, I guess,
Any guesses?
which was
Sorry, Mithun. I have default value as 1. That's why it's always showing up as open.
okay.
Right. So again, what would I do?
We need to create a override.
Yes. Create an override, and I say just override the default value. Now let's open up and see. Yes.
Yes.
See this, it's coming up with none. So always see, if even if you have done things, and even if you have done things, just you need to identify from where it is impacting.
Okay.
If it is too specific to the field, you will go to the dictionary entry of the field and you would see. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the state. Now I want to be, as per our requirement, I want to create what state with choice field as
On hold.
on hold. Correct. Let's create that first. Do we have Vanchika in the session?
I think she had left.
She has left, is it? Okay. Now let's create choice fields. Okay, choices. We have to create choices, right? First, let's duplicate this tab, and then
And from
we
where
will.
we can tab.
Sorry, Mithun.
From
What?
where we get this field, this tab, like
Which?
state dictionary. We
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 came to
had to.
the dictionary.
Okay.
Yeah, we came to the dictionary entry of the state.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Same thing. Right click, configure dictionary.
Okay.
So we'll open this up, and now I want to create a choice field, right? See,
Yes.
I am creating a choices. Do we have anything specific as table? Yeah, we'll bring table. Okay. First, let's see on what all tables we have this value. Okay. See, change request, change task, queue entry, and all of these fields. If I just do a group by table, you'll understand better. Okay, open this one, and I do a group by table. So what happens? In this specific table, we have these many choices, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Incident, problem, change. Now, I want to create on hold reason for only my table on as
Yes.
on hold choice for the state field for only my table. So what will
Yes.
be the table that I choose?
Asset management.
Yes. What will be the sequence? Sequence means
Numbering order, right? 1, 2, 3.
yes,
State
numbering order. So is it okay to put under
in progress.
yeah, no, under below work in progress. So what's the work in progress value? Probably we will say let's do one thing. In our table, do we have asset management? No, since this is extended by task. Okay, what is the value of work in progress? Let's see. This is label, okay, new SS authorized, and this is the value behind it.
Okay.
Why we have name and value as I mean, like, if you see why we have this unique, I said you something about label and value.
Label means which whatever we create, it will automatically create generated, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's for the front end purpose. But if I want to go to change in for scripting, I will say
Okay.
now in change request, if the value is -5, then what it would give me? New.
New. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Had I said that if in scripting, if I say go to change request and if the value is new means see if I do a show match on new, see how many values it will pull up from all the different tables.
Yes.
So it is confusing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's go ahead and create table. I mean like dictionary entry for choice. So state is this element on state we are creating and language and the value. So we will create on state. Label is on hold reason. Okay, on hold. Okay, on hold. We'll put something like this, or this is better. Value is probably let's say something as 70. Okay,
Okay.
and the sequence is not mandatory. We will do that as per our this thing. Okay. Now what will be the deployment value? Now we save this. Am I confusing, Nitin, or are you able to follow?
I am able to follow.
Follow. Okay. Okay. Now let's open up a new record. Okay. So you saw -1 and all those things, right? Because we had
Yes.
already created that record and the changes didn't reflect. So in
Yes.
case you think the changes are not reflected, close the existing record, try opening a new record. Now,
Okay.
do we see any value?
No.
On hold only.
Only on holders.
On
Is
hold.
it?
Any guesses why we saw only on hold? Any guesses like just why we saw only on hold?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. What happened? See, here, let me just group by table. Now, what is our table here? All this while what I was doing, I extended the task table, and that's why
Yeah.
it by default it gave me a priority. Now I have created one such choices as this one. Table is this and this one, right?
Okay.
Now,
Yes.
now that is why it is showing me only the
Single on
on
hold
hold
record.
one.
Okay.
And let's just do a task, but this is not the right way of doing. Let's just do a task. Instead of doing that, what we will always do is we will create all the desired. So the client, again, this is a requirement from client only. What are all the states that they should be able to see? The state
Okay.
they'll specify, okay, because
Okay.
each request will have each states, so they will specify that they should see new, in progress, no, new, work in progress, on hold. As this is our client's requirement, okay. New, work
Okay.
in progress, on hold, and closed, and closed, incomplete, cancelled, closed, complete, and cancelled, okay. So
Okay.
what I do is, now we will explicitly go ahead and create choices for our tables, right?
Okay.
So first we have created state. So what is this? 1 2 3 4 5. So we'll put 30 as this value, okay.
Okay.
Now do a duplicate in order to say 30 is the sequence and value will be 3. We'll put.
Okay.
So do a duplicate, stay on the same table and just create. Another value is state. I'll say new is my value.
Then
1 is the same and 10. Okay. We don't want any default values. Okay. Means like it should always have this and this. So it is
okay.
taking what? And now we have
Working.
work in progress. And the value will be 2 and the sequence would be
20.
20. Okay, we have this now. Just see if we have these values. Okay. Did we give on hold as 3? No. Okay, it's taking one by one. Okay. Okay, it has created only one. Okay.
Yeah.
That is work in progress. Now we'll create new and on hold, then cancelled and complete and cancel request. Now
Okay.
nothing. You can one way of creating this is you can directly go ahead and click to new choices like this.
Okay.
And you can do a click new and then you can submit the value. Other way of doing this
Okay.
is in the list layout itself. Now I'll just tell you, like, I'm creating in this table, I'm creating one choice.
Okay.
Let it load. Yeah. That is asset management table.
It will be under U, right? U underscore.
Yeah, right. You're right. It's UA. Yeah, asset management admin table. Yeah, one thing. And
Okay.
I want to create value as new, right? And another, no, value as, we'll rather keep it as new, okay? Because to see, it's the new request. Or do you want to have it as
Okay.
open?
Anything is fine.
New
Open.
means to New means to identify that it is a new request. Okay. And then we have the value as 1, and this remains the sequence, and 10 is the sequence. Okay. Now see, you sort it, then it will take as per the sequence. We create another one, that is this is loading. Work in progress. Next is on hold. Next is value is this, and I'll show you how we access this value in scripting. That's why specifically I'm creating all of these. Okay, it should be we should be able to connect to dots. Yeah. And then is closed and complete. Complete and closed.
ऊपर मतलब it has been you underscore set.
Yeah.
Can't we copy and directly?
No, this is not, because see, in table it's not, we cannot copy paste the value.
Okay.
I'll show you. This is one way of doing, right? Rather than opening multiple tabs and just doing, this is one way of doing. If in case, one more thing, yeah, then if at all, see, now I have dependent value and hint, right? Now, what if I want to bring those things here itself?
We need to organize, we need to click on right click on.
Yeah, we need to personalize the list. This is called list. And if at all, if I'm editing this, this is called as personalizing the list. And see, I'm just getting it here. After the, probably after the, inactive sequence. After the sequence, I'll get this here. So you will have everything under one tab. You just have to go ahead and just create it, right? Rather than doing anything else. I mean, like, why open up multiple tabs? This is like making the interface, yeah. See, now I give you asset management admin as the search list in the table. It will not pull up because it's just giving me the value. Now, if I say asset management also, it's not giving. So it's always I go to this one, the value, battle value. Oh, no. So here is cancelled. Instead of doing cancel, what I suggest is for the I mean, once again, this is all dependent on client. What are the choice values that they should be able to see? Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of doing this, I'll create another one called as resolved after this, and then we'll see. So just for another requirement that I'm seeing.
Okay. And we need to change the sequence as well.
Yes, we'll change the sequence once again. So U underscore I typed, and then see. Create as resolved. So new means ticket has been created. Work in progress means by the name itself, we can say that somebody else is working on the request, right? On hold means that ticket has been put into pause condition for some reason. Complete means, yes, Mithun?
Yeah, on hold in the sense waiting for any further information from any other client or any requester.
Yes, correct.
So complete in the sense after resolving the ticket, after some period of time, the state will get reached like complete. So again, the ticket cannot be opened.
Exactly. I mean, like, if at all they have any queries, they should raise a new request, right?
Yes.
And now cancelled means for some purpose the request has been cancelled, right?
Yeah.
Now let's refresh our list. Do we see? Yes, we see this. Now, what was our initial requirement? That
On hold, and when the state is on hold, so the field should appear what the
on hold
reason for
reason
on holding.
should appear and it should be mandatory. Now, we don't have anything as on hold reason from the task itself, right? In that case, it is very much relevant that we go ahead and create what? UI policy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. The basic need of creating UI policy, one thing how you can configure UI policy is we have created that state dictionary entry, right? So the purpose of UI policy is always this. One way of searching for UI policy is you will come here and you will see UI policies. Okay. In there, go to system UI and there you access the UI policy. Okay.
Okay.
That is one way of doing. Now, the moment you hit enter new and you should be able to choose the asset management table. So you should specifically choose the table. Okay.
Okay.
There is another shortcut how you can access the UI policy running for this table only. How I do this is nothing. Just go here, type on configure. Click on configure. Okay.
Yeah.
Directly go to the UI policies.
Okay.
What will happen? It will directly take you to the UI policy and it will show you the policies running on this tables.
Okay.
Okay. So already I wanted to see make assignment group mandatory is task. Why is it showing as task?
It's a reference table which we extended from.
Exactly. Yeah, correct. Now we will change the value and we will change. Now we have asset management as this one. Now I'm saying that make on hold reason mandatory. This is the subject. Okay.
Okay.
The main purpose of UI policy is to make any fields read-only, visible, and mandatory
Okay.
on the table. Apart from that,
Yes.
there is no extensive use of it. Okay.
Okay.
But there is one script, but it also depends. See again, UI policy means to make the UI policy is to make a field either read-only, visible, and mandatory. Apart from this, we cannot achieve any other functionality on the fields. Okay. But one more thing is, in this only I want to let you know something like read only and visible and mandate. Okay. Read only means nobody can edit it, right?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Visible and mandate. Okay. Visible and mandate, if I say, the field should be visible first. Correct?
Yes.
And only then I can make it mandatory.
Yeah. Correct.
So if at all you create any UI policy, first let's create a UI policy and then I'll come back to this. Without making the field visible, if you make it mandatory, will it work?
No, we cannot. Like the user cannot see the field. Then what is the use of making it
mandatory? Right? Yeah, that's what. Now let's create a UI policy and order for this is 100. What is the order means? Yes, Midhun.
So initially we need to create the field on hold reason, right? Before creating UI policy.
Correct. Correct. That is another thing. Thank you for reminding me. Sorry, Midhun. Can't do it.
Actually, I thought.
So on hold. Yes. No, I was in the hurry to clear UI policies, right? So I forgot about this, and that's okay, no worries. Now we will create a new record called as a new field in the asset management table. So should we put that as on hold reason, right? Like string, right? For them to enter the details, or do you want to have any choice list again? For now, we will have the string. Okay. See, on hold reasons also could be because of multiple issues, right? Like, awaiting customer or awaiting vendor or awaiting things. For now, we'll put one as string field in tomorrow's session when Anshika needs it. We'll create choice list for this.
Okay.
On hold reason. Okay. And one more thing, whenever you are creating the labels for the any fields, it should always be in capital case, camel case. When I say camel case means every first letter of the word should always begin with capital.
Okay.
Okay. This is for reading purpose and it is the standard naming convention in the ServiceNow.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So it should always be in camel case. Keep that in mind. I mean, don't make it like this, like on hold, reason, something like this. This is
Right.
not like, it's not in a presentable format, right? So we need
Yes.
to make things, alike as what we have in the system. So this is
Okay.
camel case. When I say camel case means every first letter of the word should start with
Caps.
caps. And I'll put, for now, I'm putting the max length as 100 or let's put as 1000. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now we don't have any default value. This is string. Okay. Now here I could have went ahead and made it mandatory,
Yes.
right?
But the
But why
condition
am I
is
not making? Yeah.
every time the field should be mandate until and unless we didn't make the condition. Only when the
Yes.
state is not hold, that's why we are not making it.
Correct. Correct. So the order is here. If I say in UI policy, the order is in which order? As see, UI policy is the first script. Okay, first thing that will run as soon as the form work loads.
Okay.
Okay, not even client script. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so that's why UI policy will run first, and I'll tell you 100. This is the order. Now, what was my condition? That if state, there has to be some condition, right?
Yes.
Without which it cannot make this line. Correct?
Yeah.
There has to be some state. Now, state is
On
on
hold.
hold. Yeah. As soon as it goes to on hold, we should have this field coming up. Okay, let's save this now. And I'll create a new UI. So I have created a UI policy. I have
Yes.
set the short description. I know in which condition it should apply. UI
Yeah.
policy action means what is the action in this specific UI policies itself. So you can have multiple UI policy action within a same UI policy. Okay. For now, I'm
Okay.
creating one. Like on hold reason should be visible and mandate. Probably we can say that even the description also should become mandate. I'll show. I mean, this is just one scenario. So here, what I'm choosing. What should I choose?
On hold reason. Okay.
Yes, on hold reason. I know that it should become mandatory. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
I said it should become
Uh,
mandatory. And is it necessary that I need to have the on hold reason visible everywhere or dependent or independent? I mean, like in all other states?
no. 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 Only on the
No,
state
right?
when it is. Yes.
Correct. Only on the state. So first I say visible true means on this condition that if state is on hold, only then make it visible.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. Now I'll just leave it as leave alone. I'll just make this as
Okay.
mandatory. Okay. Now what will happen? See, we have on hold reason here. Correct?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Irrespective of the state. In new also it's there. Now as soon as when we say that, sorry, work in on hold. Do you see this? It is becoming mandatory, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But your sometimes it is even possible that the client will say only this much, but then you should say, I mean, like, do you want this on hold to be visible, reason to be visible on every other state? It is not
No.
necessary. So what I do here, only if the state is on hold, even then go ahead and make this field only visible at them. Now let's
Okay.
do or reload. Now we don't have, so we are making on hold. Now, do you see this? Without this, see, it will prompt me by default that, the mandatory field on hold is not being filled And without filling this, the agent will not be able to submit the state.
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is one way of doing. Okay. And I said that, there we could have multiple UI policies action within the same UI policies. Okay. Probably they think that, they would think that, on hold reason is not only enough. Then we will also make the work notes as mandatory.
Okay.
Right. For their purpose. So that too, they will say that only when the state is on hold, then even make the work notes as mandatory, right? So let's do that.
Yes.
How would we do? So is it necessary that I will have to create another UI policy with the same state and another UI action, or do I add it here?
No.
Because my condition is same, that if state is on hold, that I will have to make this functionality. So
Yes,
is
yes,
it
yes, yes.
necessary to make another UI policy exclusively, or just go
No,
about creating it here?
we can create a UI policy in the same
Same. So that's why I said
policy.
UI policy can have multiple UI actions, provided one thing is the main thing. Provided what? The condition should be the same, right? Only then we can have
Yes,
multiple UI actions. If work notes had to be mandatory in some other condition, it is not sensible to put it here, correct?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So I'll just make another one mandatory. I'm just bringing work notes. It's visible. It should always be visible in all the case. But I just wanted mandatory in which state? On hold.
Yes.
Now let's see this. If I change it to something else, it is
Yeah.
becoming non-mandatory. Okay. So why is this showing up in a different color? Ideally, it shouldn't have. Okay, we'll check this again in the thing. And one more thing, activity filter. See, whatever the changes that we made, right? We changed state, we changed impact, we changed the requester, we changed the work notes, on hold reason, everything, right? So whatever
Yeah.
the impact, changes we did, it should have captured somewhere in the request, correct?
Yes.
Means for auditing purpose and to see all of those things. So we have one field called as activity filter, okay? In that
Okay.
field, any changes that you make on the record, it would have been captured there. Now let's bring up that activities filter. What is it? Don't have a filter. We should have had an activity filter. See this. Okay, I'll just get it here. Let's see it. See here, the moment I got activity filters, what and all was captured. Now, if some time ago I had put some notes under work notes, right?
Yes.
So it is captured. Now impact, open by state, it is captured. Now I want to see what I put on hold reason as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I want to see the requester and everything. So in that case, I already have a activity filter running on this record, but I want to be able to see on all the fields. In that case, what I do is, do you see this funnel icon next to the activity filter? Click on that. Okay.
Yeah.
For now, it says all. Yeah? Now click on configure all available fields. It means nothing like I just want to choose from what are all the available fields. I just want to bring in everything in activity filter. Okay. So we have
Okay.
state, reason, impact, and all of those things. Now I want to see, I said you, right? I want to see on hold reasons as well.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
And probably is there anything that let's see short description. What was the short description earlier? What was the what was the probably what was the short description earlier and what was changed? Now let's do all of this. You see? Means any change that we do on this record, it should have been captured somewhere, right? So I mean,
Yes.
later, why I'm saying this, later they should just go ahead and probably see, right? What happened to this request. There could be few issues like as soon as the state changed to something, it worked in a way it was not
We can.
supposed to. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
We can say a similar situation like when a request is ping ponging between multiple groups. So we can see the activities like when the request was created
Yes.
and what were the
Yes.
actions taken.
Yes. Yeah, there are situations where the agent will say, you know what, this has happened, but in order for them to justify it, it should have been documented somewhere or it should have been captured somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is one of the main utility for that. I mean, to capture all the changes running on the specific table, activity filter is something. And by the name activity filter means whatever the activities that happened on the specific field. So how I get those fields? The desired fields that I want, you go to the funnel icon and then you configure everything that you want to see. Correct?
Yeah. In this case, like end user
Yes.
will filter the activities, or we will set the prior fields, available fields in prior.
No, and end user cannot do anything. End user will not even have access to do this.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. Only the
Yes.
admin will go ahead and configure the activity filter for this table.
Okay. Okay. So
So
whatever
even the agent will not. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Mithun.
so whatever the fields in the form, so he will enable in the filter activity and
Yes, correct. Because even the admin will have no access to do this. Sorry, the agent will have no access to configure what are all the fields that should be captured in activity. The client will give you, like,
yeah.
in most cases, put all the fields. But if you want to even see, when we come to email inbounds, right, then I will show. See, there is something called as sent and received emails also that I have put.
Okay.
Let me show. Okay, let me just show this sent and received emails. Now, in my case, let's suppose in this case, we sent an email to ServiceNow and the request was created. Correct.
Yeah.
We have not come to inbound even now, but I'm just giving you an example. So I should
Okay.
also be able to see that email here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, through which email it came. There is another way of seeing emails in the back end, but I want that specific email to be captured in the specific activity. Correct. Now
Yes. Yes.
see, now let me just go ahead and change the short description to something. This one.
Okay.
The moment I do this, the short description changes, it will show up. Field changes that it would show up, right? And if I
Yes.
am choosing some other assignment group like this, probably we'll see capacity management or somebody. Okay. See, even the assigned to was empty because I had cleared assignment group, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I say save, it is not capturing this assignment group is because it is going to a different queue. So in the
Yeah.
capacity management table only, in that activity
Going
filter,
out.
this would show up.
Okay. Okay. So it is going out of the table. That's why it is not capturing.
Yes, yes, it is not showing up, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is about UI policy. So I mean, like for practicing purpose, today I'll just give you few UI policies that, just go ahead and make them mandate, visible, and so and so. Okay. One more thing
Okay.
is for the UI policy, what I this is the preliminary thing that we did over UI policies. So do you want some few requirements to work upon?
Yeah, if it is better. So
Okay. So make one thing like okay, I'll give you in this way. So it
okay,
combines everything. Okay. Make the resolution notes mandatory when the state goes to result. Okay.
okay,
And for
okay.
this, first thing is I'll paste in the chat. Please remind me. I'll forget otherwise.
Yeah,
First remind me the resolution notes. Okay. That is resol by. Second thing, resolved at. This is the time field. And resolution notes. This is a string field. Resolved by is what? A
reference.
correct reference field. I'm not going to give you any hint how you would create it, how you would do it. You just
Okay,
see, as soon as you type resolved by, as soon as you mark it resolved, this resolved by will take up your name or the agent that worked on the case. Okay.
okay,
Resolved act as a date and date field. Okay. And resolution notes is a string field that you just see if all of these fields are available in the table or not, or if you have to explicitly create it. I'll leave that to you because I want you to just explore a bit around this. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is resolution notes and this is string field. Okay. All of these three will become mandatory. Okay.
Okay,
Put this on the all the above, all the three fields should be visible under resolution tab, form section, I would say. Okay. Yes, we know how to create a form section.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
So
form
the
section.
tab will be
And
like side by side, right? Form section
yes,
in the main.
correct. Yes, all these three fields should be in the resolution details. Probably we'll say this one as resolution details. Okay.
Okay,
The name of the form tab is resolution details.
okay,
Okay, then one more thing. When so it should be visible here, correct? It will be visible here. Now the thing is
so
when
all the three, all the three requested fields should be under resolution details or
resolution details, it should be under this.
okay, okay, okay,
Okay, this is this one requirement. It should be under this only, this form section only. I don't want it in the main form. Okay.
okay, okay.
When don't mistake me if when I'm saying it's the client. They don't want it in the main form. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I have a condition that when the state is resolved, the resolution form section itself should be visible.
okay,
Resolution details should be visible and mandatory
okay,
and not in any other time. Okay. This
okay.
resolution details should be visible and mandatory only when visible. Okay. Only when
Yeah,
the state goes to resolved. Okay. And
okay,
all of these three fields also, all the three fields also should be visible and mandatory.
okay.
Fields should be visible and mandatory. See, the same functionality, read only, mandatory, and setting them visible or not it is achievable from client script. I'll show that to you on Monday's session. But
Okay,
see, one thing, Midhun, that see, we should always avoid scripting wherever it is feasible. Okay.
okay,
We could have done this in the client script by scripting, but that's not necessary. Out of the box, we have this functionality. And UI policy is the first thing that runs first, even before the client script. So when
okay.
making fields visible, mandatory,
Read
read
only.
only is achievable through UI policy, and it runs on the first time the form loads, right? So
Yes, yes.
what was I mean, like we need not write a client script. So this is an interview question. So they would say, I want to make such functionality like the field should be visible, mandatory, and read only on this on some specific state. What do we do? Do we write UI policies, or they will first ask what are the possibilities, and then what we say UI
So we
policies
can,
and clients,
yeah,
correct? Then they will
yes,
say
yes.
which is the one that you would pick
EA policy,
and why.
like it is the first thing whenever the form is loading, and it is a
Yeah, it is
feasible.
the first. Yeah, it is the first thing that executes when the form loads. This
Yes, yes.
functionality, right? Make read
Yeah, yeah.
only this thing, right? I'll show in the client script how we do. Still, I'll
Okay.
show. Okay,
Yeah.
it you should be able to see that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
all these
Okay.
three fields should be visible and mandatory when the state is same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll copy paste this. Work on this.
Yeah.
There's a chat.
Yeah. I have taken the note. Well,
Oh, is it so? You want me to paste it here, or is it okay if I can just leave
no,
it here?
I have taken the note. Not
Note is it?
necessary for.
Okay. Okay, Nitin. So this is about it. So we will meet up in Monday's class.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Sure.
Okay. Try exploring more about UI policies. You
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
keep
Fine.
using that, yeah? Just do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and priority, I'll just come up why it is not showing up. I'll just debug a little and come up with the thing. Okay.
And also we are having some more like importing errors. We discussed regarding that.
Importing?
Import set error. Import like we had done the import, right? Data sets.
Yeah, import
Data set
XML.
error.
Data
Data
set
set
error.
errors, like whenever, like as we discussed, right? Like the common errors. You will prepare some common errors whenever we are importing the data set from one instance to another
Updates it,
instance.
updates it,
Yeah.
updates
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what it. One of the things that it would say is that we have a new record that is already existing, and do we have to move this change? In that case, you accept it, or these. I mean, like it would be read only format whenever you migrate the update set, right? You can say probably see I will create a few new fields, okay, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I'll send it to your instance. Now I created on hold reason. Tomorrow session I will send it. Sometimes
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happens, right? Sometimes what happens while migrating the update set, we will get such errors like unable to find the dictionary for on hold entry. What will we do in that case? We will
Will.
accept it.
Okay.
We will accept it. Okay.
Okay.
And if there is some specific change, what is not desired to your requirement has been captured. In that case, what we do, we will skip it.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So update set errors, I will just make a note. Remind
Okay.
me. Probably I'll just make a note next Friday. I'll just update all of those details and few questions what you get till until the topic that we have covered. Right? I'll take you through. I mean, I'll probably try documenting all of the questions and I'll keep it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Then we will meet in Monday's class. And hope to see
Yeah.
you on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pass on to Vanshika also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
will share the
Yeah.
information to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. Thanks, Mithun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Take care.
Bye. Bye.